And next up, to present for Envirovex is Vishwa Maharajan, studying biotechnology and pharmaceutical engineering at Carnegie Mellon University. Vishwa, good morning. How are you feeling?
A little nervous, but I think I'm ready.
You got this. It's a friendly panel of judges. All right, take it away. The stage is yours. Cheers.
Thank you. Imagine needing surgery, but the antibiotics no longer work. It's not science fiction, it's happening. We are Envirovex, and we are tackling one of the most overlooked threats to human, animal, and environmental health, antibiotic pollution. Every year, over 200,000 tons of antibiotics are consumed, and most of it, up to 90%, isn't even metabolized. It's excreted, flushed, and forgotten. But it doesn't disappear. It enters our wastewater system and ends up in rivers, soils, and our food chain. This is the invisible engine which has been driving antimicrobial resistance, a crisis which has taken over 1.3 million deaths per year. This is not just a medical problem, it's a water problem. So, what does the data tell us? In 2024 alone, 119,000 tons of antibiotics have re-entered our ecosystem. And the conventional wastewater treatment plants were able to remove only up to 30% at best. And the impact? Ecosystem damage, delayed crop germination, biodiversity loss, and the rise in threat of resistant bacteria, which could soon make cancer treatments and surgery unsafe. This problem is global, but some places face it more acutely than others. That's why we chose Dubai, where the problem is amplified and the opportunity is very clear. Dubai is a city facing severe water scarcity, high pharmaceutical use, and a rising threat in AMR. And this is not just driven by hospitals, but by the intense tourism and also by the extensive self-medication practices. Advanced wastewater treatment plants like Al Warsan and Jebel Ali in Dubai aren't even designed to handle these pharmaceutical residues. And this leaves a critical gap that Envirovex aims to fill. In the same time, Dubai is also home to many AI-driven innovation programs backed by Dubai Future Foundation, UAE 2031 vision. And thus, what we implement here could be a global model for tackling antibiotic pollution everywhere else. So let's talk about the current methods that's there in the market. So the current methods fall short. So we have biochar and natural enzymes, which degrade slowly and are pretty inconsistent. And talking about ozone treatment, they are very powerful, but they produce toxic byproducts like bromates, which enters into our wastewater that is put back into the environment. And talking about membrane filtration, it is efficient, but very energy intensive and unsustainable at a global scale. So what about conventional wastewater treatment plants? They weren't designed to treat these residues, and upgrading them is often too costly, and it becomes too complex for the municipalities to prioritize. So far, the policies have focused on limiting the antibiotic use at its source, but they have not focused on removing what's already out there. So we asked ourselves, can we remove antibiotics in a faster, cleaner, smarter, in such a way that we can generate value from waste? We at Envirovex, from diverse scientific and cultural background, came together to propose a bold circular solution for tackling antibiotic pollution. We designed a three-part circular system, which includes, first, an AI platform which we use to design enzymes which can target these persistent antibiotics. Second, we engineer mirror enzymes, which are more stable, longer lasting, and resistant to breakdown in the natural environment. And finally, we introduce this enzyme through a modular bioreactor, which seamlessly integrates into the existing wastewater treatment plants. So these three components come together to form a system which not only degrades the antibiotics, but also helps recover valuable byproducts from the waste, thus closing the loop between pollution and productivity. So let's talk about enzymes. Enzymes are proteins having specific functions. They speed up the reactions. In wastewater, the natural enzymes break down too easily. So we use our AI platform to design enzymes in a mirror image form. These are right-handed versions of the nature's commonly found left-handed ones enzymes. So due to their structure, this makes them more resistant to protease enzymes present in the environment. So they are more stable, longer lasting, and resistant to degradation. Thus, they keep on working where the natural enzymes fail. That's what sets Envirozymes apart. These enzymes are introduced by embedding on a biochar membrane within a custom modular bioreactor, which fits into the final stage of the wastewater treatment plant. So the process, water flows in, the antibiotics are degraded, and the valuable byproducts are recovered. It's a plug-and-play solution. No overhauls, just smart retrofits for real-world adoption. So our early-stage modeling suggests strong promise for real-world performance. Our enzymes showcase up to 97% antibiotic degradation in less than 24 hours. And we are able to recover valuable byproducts like piperazine, which can be further used in the downstream pharmaceutical and textile and polymer industry. Further, there are no toxic byproducts produced, so no added energy burden as well. Our solution aligns with the 6 UN Sustainable Development Goals, and we deliver strong impact towards public health, ecosystems, and industries. This is not just a tech solution. It's a profitable business as well. We offer a staged business model built to last, $15 per gram of antibiotics treated as a wastewater treatment service offered to the municipalities and wastewater treatment plant operators. We also plan to license our Envirozyme technology and the revenue from the circular reuse of the valuable byproducts recovered. And finally, monthly AI subscriptions of our enzyme design platform to biotech users and academic labs. So we are not just trying to remove the antibiotics, but we also wanted to build a circular solution. So our solution begins with targeted degradation, moves on to recover the valuable byproducts. And further, these byproducts re-enter the economy in agriculture, pharma, and textiles. We also plan to extend this loop by developing on-site wastewater diagnostics for detecting early AMR threats for early intervention. We also plan to forge zero-discharge initiatives with wastewater treatment plants and pharmaceutical companies. And finally, we intend to expand our enzyme libraries to target other persistent antibiotics and contaminants present within the wastewater. So this is circular design in action, where value is generated from waste and water systems help drive sustainable growth. So one might ask, why now? Because regulatory pressure is rising and the innovation is ready. The Dubai Future Foundation, the UAE 2031 Vision, EU Green Deal, and several other zero-discharge mandates are all aligning more towards stronger AMR control and sustainable water policy. So why us? Because we bring together AI, synthetic biology, and modular engineering within a solution which is fast, retrofittable, and impact-driven. Envirovex is not just a product. It's a shift in how we clean water, how we manage waste, and how we protect public health. So our mission is to tackle antibiotic pollution, to reclaim wastewater as a resource, not a risk, and to build a future where global health, clean water, and circular value go hand in hand. We are Envirovex, and we are here to turn the tide. Thank you.
Vishwa, great work. Thank you so much. We'll let the judges chat with themselves for a few minutes and get ready for your Q&A. Well, congratulations, great presentation, so innovative. Can you tell us, we heard that your team has worked together on this topic before. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
We all met together, during one of the iGym competitions. So we had this motto of we wanted to solve something which is persistent in the environment and which has not been looked at. So in the current scenario, wastewater treatment plants and other companies look more towards just breaking down the antibiotics and letting it go. So the degradation products and everything that's there just goes into the environment. So we thought, what are these degradation products and can't we recover them? So that's how we came up with this innovative solution that we can generate a circular economy through this. So then we participated in several other competitions, and we are here now.
Brilliant. It's certainly an unmet need. How interesting. I loved what you said at the end, turning wastewater from into a resource. Yeah, that's really interesting. I haven't heard that before, and it's brilliant thinking. So your team, all together, you're all over the world, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so how have you been connecting?
Well, I should say that this is today, during Beach Prize, the first time we actually met in real life.
Yes.
So we have been working online through meetings and stuff. We meet over. So that's how we have been working all the time.
That's great. That's wonderful. I love how Wege Prize brings us all together. Wonderful. All right, judges, take it away. Good luck.
Yeah, wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
It's very high tech, so some of that stuff I don't necessarily understand. But as a designer, industrial designer and architect, could you discuss more the technical challenges of your bioreactor, which must be fairly large, at the tail end of an existing wastewater treatment plant, when these treatment plants must be highly variable in space available, and then how much capital investment are you thinking for that bioreactor, the hardware parts?
Okay. So the model of the bioreactor itself is going to be pretty much constant throughout. The variability comes from the different wastewater treatment plants and the location and the type of wastewater we are treating, and also there are seasonal changes to be kept in check. So that's where we will be developing our enzymes to be more efficient in the wastewater that is we are going to be treating in. So, just a second. Can I have a presentation? It's all right. So initially for our establishing the POC and pilot testing, we require around $140,000. So after that, we have established contacts with Spain government and Dubai municipalities for pilot studies, which they were very interested in. So that's how we are going to proceed further.
So long term, you plan to build the reactors. You'll be a manufacturer of the bioreactors?
No, we intend to, so we design the reactors, and we intend to hire commercial companies which focus on bioreactor building and everything. So we provide the design and they build it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vishwa, for a really, really great presentation and how you're moving really these global systems. Would you talk a little bit more about the business model? We know that the numbers are huge to do what you need to do, but that's what dreaming and doing things is all about. But talk a little bit more about the specifics of your business model, how that's going to translate when you speak to the government. That's one thing, but how does it end up moving through a particular location, through a particular nation? And then also, your partnerships? You mentioned the national governments.
Yeah.
What are some of the other partners that you've also indicated and kind of you foresee that you're going to have to make this happen?
Okay. So answering your first question, so our business model, so initially we would have a high capital investment cost, but over the run, we would generate revenue from not only so as a company, we generate revenue from our AI platform design, which we give it to the biotech users and the academic labs. So they use it for efficient enzyme design as we integrate multiple APIs into it. So it's a whole compact system which offers like different sets of information which otherwise currently we have to go through each and everything differently at a time. So that is something that we offer to the biotech users, which in turn helps us, as in it improves our own enzyme efficiency as it trains our model continuously. So we end up getting a larger benefit out of this. And the second revenue is from the valuable byproducts that we recover from it. So we focus on the first antibiotic we started to focus on was ciprofloxacin, which is the most commonly occurring antibiotic in the wastewater stream. And it can be degraded to something called piperazine, and this has multiple applications in polymer industry, in textile industry. So that's where we plan to sell this. And we would also be contacting pharmaceutical industries who have like specific quality analysis teams. So they do the quality analysis of the product that we have. So if they are interested, we will be offering it to them as well. So that's another thing. And we would also be doing antibiotic monitoring in the wastewater, which many of the wastewater treatments lack right now. So those data will also be provided to the companies or the other government officials. So, and finally, to certain companies, if they're interested, we will be offering our Envirozyme technology itself as a licensed one. So apart from this, to municipalities and government, we'll be having contract-based. We'll be charging them based on the amount of wastewater that we treat and how much amount of antibiotics is treated. So that's how we generate. And with regarding to the partnerships, so we will be partnering with wastewater treatment plants and initially the government. So right now, we had contacted the Spain government, and they have been aggressively tackling antibiotics in their wastewater stream. They had come up with the National Antibiotic Resistance Plan. So they were ready to include us in their pipeline in the future years, and as well as Dubai municipalities, some certain representatives from the Dubai municipalities were interested in our technology, and they offered us space so that we can develop our tech there. So that's what we have.
Thanks very much. I have a question for you. It's in two parts. The first is, have you developed a full proof of concept at the lab scale? So I'm curious about that. I assume it's not yet at the pilot scale from what you're talking about, but it would be really nice to know how far your prototyping has gone in the lab. And second part is, have you identified or mapped out or researched any potential unintended consequences of these long-lasting engineered enzymes in the water systems that you're talking about?
Yeah. So far we have developed a low-fidelity protein design platform, which is there on our website. So users can access it to design their own enzymes in the D form, which is more stable. So that we have already done. And we have also progressed further with designing the enzyme itself, which we will carry on to the lab scale testing. So that's where we are at, So all the statistics that I mentioned in the presentation were all backed up by research that has been already done. So it's just integrating everything together and bringing it as a real-world solution. Oh, yeah, unintended consequences. So the enzymes are embedded on the biochar membrane, so even if they get removed and enter the wastewater stream, since they are D versions of the enzyme, so this is basically like a mirror image of the natural proteins that are present in the wastewater. So the natural living organisms don't interact with the D version because it is something not essentially found in the environment. And secondly, these enzymes, since they won't react with it, so over the time, due to their half-life, they will degrade on its own, and they will lose their activity and stability.
Following up on that, thank you. Do you have an expectation both of how many enzymes you'll need to develop in order to sort of take care of all the various pharmaceuticals that we put in the waste stream, and what time horizon you think you'll be in the lab with those solutions?
So regarding the number of enzymes that we require, so the first enzyme that we have been engineering is focused on lactase enzyme, which itself can degrade 3 different antibiotics which are present in the wastewater. So we are expecting that we would be requiring around 5 to 6 enzymes, but we also have to consider that all the antibiotics are not there in the same levels in the wastewater, and so there are some enzymes that would need more, and that's what we have focused on so far. And regarding the lab scale, so we are actively applying to different competitions and gaining funds. So we plan to invest them soon in this 2025 or 2026 to lab scale, and then we move on ahead to the pilot scale studies in the next 2 years.
I can ask that question. Yes, it was a similar question. Yes, so great. I'm with Tom. I'm kind of bowled over by the technology and not sure I understand it, but the implication of everything sounds like really amazing. My question is, the products that you're getting from this and then being able to sell, and that's the value that you're making and creating from the waste. I'd like to understand a bit more where these are going and whether you've got any concerns about where they are going from a circular perspective.
As in where these degradation products end up in the wastewater?
That's right, yeah. So who are your customers, where are they going, and what are they going to be used for? And do you have any concerns about where those are going to from a circular perspective?
So traditionally, the antibiotic pollution has been tackled in a way that we get all the antibiotics, we degrade it down, and then let it rest, because since antibiotics are not there anymore, so it's not going to create superbugs or resistant bacteria anymore. But what we discovered was some of these compounds are actually can be looped back into the industry. So instead of them investing in more energy-intensive platforms to synthesize those chemicals again, we could just loop back these chemicals with their necessitated grade back to the industry. So we are focusing on polymer industry because that's where most of the degradation products we have identified are used. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Colin, you want to go?
Okay, congratulations, good job. Thank you, judges. Great work, Vishwa and Envirovex.